Colorado's mandatory reporting law is intended to protect vulnerable populations from abuse, neglect, and exploitation. To help you understand the law, you need to understand the role of Adult Protective Services, or APS, in cases where the victim has an intellectual or developmental disability, and how APS and law enforcement can partner to investigate effectively. You should also know the role of APS in cases where the standard of criminal neglect is not met, and how school personnel serve as mandatory reporters for adults with IDDs in school, including in transition programs.
Adult Protective Services.
Hi, this is Sergeant Vaz with the Aurora Police Department. I've got a 20-year-old student that goes to high school, and he's involved in the school district transition program. And we've got a situation with him that we could really use your services for.
Yes, definitely, and I actually think that is one of the cases that I was just assigned to this morning. It looks like to me that, again, yes, there's concern that he is an IDD individual.
When an investigation involves a person with an IDD, law enforcement can provide important information to Adult Protective Services, such as contact information for the people involved, support for the APS workers, and victim services.
Areas that we're able to gather in an Adult Protective Service case is that I could access medical records if we needed to. We are exempt from HIPAA when we're investigating abuse, neglect, and exploitation. We could also research to find out if this individual is connected with any of the Community Center Board programs, as well as I can look in to see if this individual is on Medicaid or receiving other governmental funded financial assistance program. If there's anything questionable about financial exploitation, we sometimes have pretty good success contacting the bank branch and asking them to freeze an account.
That would be very, very helpful. We typically need to get search warrants to be able to find out what's going on with their financial background.
Regardless whether or not criminal charges are filed in this case, we at Adult Protective Services will definitely still remain involved with this individual by providing supportive services, connecting them with services that they may be eligible for, whether that be through the Community Center Board, Medicaid, connecting with other collaterals, and remain involved.
The teacher, who is a mandatory reporter, did the right thing by contacting the school resource officer about this situation. Even though the kid was 20 years old and in the school transition program, instead of going to their principal or their admin, they actually notified the school resource officer. So I need to let the school know they did the right thing.
In summary, cases involving people with IDD should involve Adult Protective Services after the report is made to law enforcement. APS can contribute access to medical records, determine the victim is on Medicaid or receiving other government-funded financial assistance, contact any collaterals, request that a bank freeze an account, and contact Social Security if need be. Law enforcement can support APS workers, provide victim services, criminal expertise, including important contact information and search warrants. The role of APS, whether the standard of criminal activity is met or not, is to connect the victim with support services, a community-centered board, for example, or Medicaid collaterals. School personnel do not meet the standard of the at-risk mandatory reporting law by reporting mistreatment of students aged 18 and older to school administration. They must report to law enforcement, such as the school resource officer, who is a law enforcement agent.